I got this up here for insurance, because if I make it through this without needing it, it'll be a miracle. I just say a word of welcome to you guys. Welcome to Miami. I know a lot of you journeyed a long way to get here. I know there was a lot of angst over a storm and flights and things like that, but finally the weekend's going to be great, and I hope you enjoy Miami. I see immediate family, extended family, all family, and the effort you made to get here makes this so special for Kim and Jimmy and little Zoe. And thank you very much for being here. I have never done a Father of the Bride speech before, right? My first one. Hopefully not my last. So I thought I should do a little research, and I went to that oracle of all wisdom and knowledge called Google. And the Google says, right up front, very emphatically, you must say something nice about the groom's family, right? I mean, no two ways about it. Now, I thought for a minute, there in the history of weddings, there's got to be a bunch of guys in my position who had to invent something. They had to make it up. I'm not in that position. I can speak from the heart on this one. Mary, John, you guys have welcomed us with open arms every visit. When we first met Jimmy some years ago, we heard from Kim on the phone, dating this guy, Jimmy this, Jimmy that. And then she brings him home from Chicago, and we know something's up, And they very dutifully spent some time with Kim's mother, and then they relocated and spent time with Rosie and me. And I could tell Jimmy was nervous, and I was fully prepared to take advantage of that. But in the first few minutes, I realized that this young man is warm and caring, smart, funny, gentle. He just ticked all the boxes. And we had a great time, and we've had a great time ever since. And over various visits to Chicago, we got to know the family. We heard from Jimmy about cousin this, cousin that, aunt this, aunt that, nephew. All of your names have come up before. And I started thinking, a young man this nice must have nice parents. And then hearing about all of you, it's just an entire nice family, right? So that was kind of my assumption going into this. And then when Kim moved to Chicago years ago, I worried about her for a lot of reasons, but the primary reason was, what kind of people would she fall in with? So the idea that you guys been adopted she's been adopted into your family, this warm, close, crazy, fun family, What a support system for her. And every time we come up there's so much fun and so much laughter. A lot of food. Generally, there's some alcoholic beverages involved. And just the idea that Kim is in this mixture is, I told you the other day, it's a happy thought for me. It's one of my happy thoughts. It really is. Now, the other thing that the Google said I should do is tell you a story or two about Kim when she was younger. So, I'm going to be nice, Kim. There are so many to choose from. We were recounting some at dinner last night, Kim and I were. And, but I've got a couple that stick out in my mind. Kim's always been a good student. And there was a time early in grade school, second or third grade, I think. And she came home with a test paper. And she'd gotten a good grade, she'd done fine, but she got a question wrong. And she showed it to me. And the question, I don't know what the subject of this test was, but the question was, where does bacon come from? And she put Publix. Which I think you all know, that's one of our big grocery store chains, here in town. So I loved it. And Kim wasn't raised on a farm. She had, for her little second or third grade perspective, Publix, the grocery store, is exactly where bacon comes from. Anyway, and she even spelled it right with the X on the end. It was a beautiful thing. It was brilliant. But the teacher did not agree with me Question wrong. I still think you were robbed. And then, second thing that really comes to my mind, also owing to her academic prowess, she won a 3-day cruise to the Bahamas, right? And her mother and I flipped a coin. I don't remember if I won or lost, but I took Kim on the cruise. And I remember the day vividly. It was an afternoon like this. This goes out late on a Friday afternoon. And, you got the sun setting behind us. You've got this big cruise ship, Carnival, I think it was. You got the ship, going out the port of Miami and buildings of Miami Beach, Miami going by us, and the blue of the Gulf Stream ahead of us. And it's just a beautiful day. We're up on the front railing, leaning on the railing. Wind in our hair. I had more hair than little 9-year-old Kimmy. What? Little 9-year-old Kimmy down here. And I remember at that point the movie Titanic was about to come out. It wasn't released yet. But it occurred to me, I'm on a cruise ship, and this movie's gonna be cool. It had all the buzz back then. And I said, Kim, this movie's gonna be great. We're gonna have to go see it together. And she says, great, we used to go to the movies a lot. And she said, what's it about, Daddy? And I proceeded to tell her the story of the Titanic. It was built in 1912 in England, and it was the most opulent, extravagant cruise ship, ocean liner ever. And a who's who of the world made it their mission to come to England to go on the maiden voyage on this, the best ship ever made. And it was supposed to be unsinkable. You know the story. Sails off on its maiden voyage. You got the Guggenheims and the Astors on board. Everybody who was anybody was on this ship. And sails across the Atlantic, hits an iceberg. Turns out it's not unsinkable, and indeed it sinks, and almost everybody on board perishes. So I got a little 9-year-old Kimmy here on a cruise ship. And she looks up at me with this look of concern and says, Daddy, are there icebergs in the Bahamas? True story. True story. So I'm almost there, and I haven't needed it yet. So I want to welcome Jimmy to the family. Officially, can call you son now. We've been calling each other dad and son for some period of months now, sort of trying it on, seeing how it fits. We determined it really fits well. And now it's official, son. Welcome to the family.
Everything you said was very nice.
From the heart.
Yeah, and you're a hard act to follow. That was very well done, very well said. Like Charlie said, it's great to get to know everybody, meet everybody. The venue yesterday, they all ate together, was Charlie and Rosie recommended it, Meraki Bistro. It was very good. We all enjoyed it, and we had a great time. I think everybody did. And over here tonight, it's a beautiful venue here. The Yacht Club here is just fantastic. And hopefully the food will follow that same course. But let's get on to the brass tacks about those two over there. So, those two over there. What can you say about your son?
You can do it.
Don't start. Quiet.
You see them when they're babies, they grow up, and you see how they grow up in front of you. And you remember certain things. And I remember one time how kids have no fear. So Jim and Gerard were playing around, I think it was at your parents' house, you guys were playing around and decided to play Superman. So I don't know the details of the story, but I do know one thing. Gerard picked up Jimmy. Superman. Jimmy did not fly. And that's the type of fun that these kids had. It's the type of person they are. Both these guys, I love Gerard. And my son just showed the exuberance of he'll try anything. He will try anything, no fear, no fear. But then as he was getting older, him and his buddies would come by the house and they wanted to hang out and stuff like that. And I'm talking middle school, beginning of high school type of thing. And poor Angelo was getting bullied by him and his friends. Cut and dry. do this, you know, and all this type of stuff, you know. And I kept on telling Jimmy, I go, listen, you have a brother. I go, I wish I had a brother. I go, you will do it. Brother, not sister. Not sister, brother. I said, I wish I had a brother. She does it every time. But what I was getting at was I was telling them that you two will grow up to be the best of friends. You will hang out together. You'll have a great life together. I go, and that's what's going to matter down the road. I go, plus, Andrew's going to get bigger than you. He's going to kick your ass, too. I go, so you better watch it. So you see how he's growing up now? He set himself in a good path. He got himself educated. He found himself in a nice field where he's very successful in. And he met this awesome girl. And her name was Kim. And Mary told me, you mentioned it last night, Mary told me that when she first met Kim, she came home and she goes, she's the one. And I was like, whoa. She goes, yeah, she's the one. I was like, oh, and I'm interested, looking forward to meeting her, you know? So, as Joey, my brother-in-law, mentioned, that happened to be the first time I met Kim, and she met a lot of the family, the quiet part on that side of the table over there, was at his house. And it was this beautiful, nice girl walks in, smiling, and all of a sudden, there's like this table here. Hi, how are you? People running up to meet her, and she's just like meeting everybody, getting to know everybody, name by name and stuff, and she's calming down, you know, it's like, this is like overkill. I could see the look in her eyes, like deer in headlights, okay? That type of thing. So we're sitting down to eat, and my brother-in-law, great guy that he is. So Jimmy's sitting here, Kim's sitting there, and Joy's here, and he's serving, right? He grabs his salad and he goes, Jimmy, tell the girl from Miami if she wants some salad. That's where the Miami thing came that we have. After she survived that night, we knew they had something. And then as time progressed, we saw more and more of each other, and Kim and Jim were always Kim and Jim, always together. And I saw them one time, sitting on our couch, and they just looked at each other. And they had this look that was just like deep. It was deep. And I was like, wow. I told Mary, I go, this could be very serious. I go, you are so right. She is the one for her and Jimmy. And it's been great seeing them grow together. As a couple, they survived COVID. I mean, think about it. They moved in right when COVID hit. That's kind of hard to go through, you know, when things kind of change in midstream. And they survived it. And out of that, you know, they decided to get married, and they had Zoe, and everybody's happy, and we're all just ecstatic. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful ride. And man, there's so much more I want to say. I just don't know how to say it. But I am so happy. I'm happy. Mary and I are ecstatic. The family we've gotten to know, you guys are just awesome. Open heart, open arms, welcoming. Charlie's always like, come on, John, let's do this. Come on, let's do it together. I mean, always something. And it just makes us feel warmth. And that's all we ask for. And to be that way, it comes from the heart. And to me, that's what it's all about. And Jim and Kim, the heart that they have for each other, it's never ending. It's just huge. It's huge. Even when they argue, they're nice to each other. I mean, come on. I mean, you know, can't get a good argument in, you know, with those two. So I just want to say, yeah. I just want to say I'm very, very happy that they're happy and their life is full. And, you know, you guys are so lucky. You got Angela living upstairs from you. See how payback is, Jimmy? So I just want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody coming in from Chicago, from all over. You know, it's just very special to us. And I didn't cry. So therefore, to Jim and Kim, we love you. To everybody, we love you. Thank you. Thank you. I made it. I didn't cry. I didn't cry, Charlie.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Sexy brother you are.
Thank you.
I want to get the mirror so.
Get a haircut for tonight.
Just for tonight. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you for coming. For those of you, thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Angelo.
We know you.
I'm Jim's brother.
Are you sure?
Yes. I want to extend my thanks to everyone who has made it here today. So let's start with Jim. Jim has always played the role of older brother well. When we were kids, he would pick on me and get annoyed by me quite often. But I mean, to his defense, I was the type of person who would always ask like 20,000 questions, so I get it.
I don't see that.
No? But as we grew up, turning into adults, he changed. Around the time I turned 18, Jim would start inviting me out all the time. He pushed me to meet new people and go out to places. I was a nervous driver back then, still kinda am. Jim would insist on driving just so I could go out and have a good time. I had no money back then. Jim would pay for everything I needed. Everything.
Me too, cuz.
That's right. Even though we still bickered as usual, I noticed he started to genuinely care for me. He genuinely cared for me, and as we spent more time together, I observed who my brother had grown into. He had grown into the type of person who always saw the best in people. Jim is the type of person who will give someone an infinite amount of chances, because he knows that deep down, there's something good there. And he would always sacrifice anything to help someone else. I was, and still am, so proud to have someone like that I can call my brother. There's more. Fast forward a few years, more than a few years, Jim starts dating Kim. Before I met Kim, I was uncertain about how much Jim liked her. But whenever Jim and I would be together, maybe have a drink or two, he would just spend so much time talking about her. And before I knew it, they moved in together. It felt like I blinked and suddenly Jim was in a very serious relationship. And during this time, I did meet the wonderful Kim. Ricola! I knew right away that she was perfect for Jim. I remember the takeaway from one of our first times meeting. She was smart, she was witty, and she could argue.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
And what hasn't changed since those earlier days when we first met is that Kim will always be one of my favorite people to talk to at the end of many of our numerous family parties. We always somehow gravitate towards each other and can end up talking for hours about various subjects. Kim, you're a great conversationalist, and please continue to never let someone's brazen viewpoints go without argument. That being said, I understood quickly that Kim was someone who would challenge Jim in all the right ways. These two were truly meant for each other. When the two of them are in the same room, it feels like I can see two puzzle pieces that just fit together perfectly. It made me overwhelmed with joy to see Jim really meet someone who completed him that way. Jim and Kim got engaged in May 2020, and I couldn't have been happier for them. They were a power couple, and I couldn't imagine them ending up with anyone besides each other. I was very moved and honored when Jim asked me to be his best man. Kim, I feel like you've always been a part of this family since the moment I met you, and now it's even more official. And I feel like everyone knows where the next part of the story is going. Around February 2021, Jim and Kim, they invited me over one night. And as I got there, we started pouring drinks. I noticed that Kim was drinking just LaCroix. And I made eye contact with Kim, and then I looked at Jim, I looked back at Kim, and I just go, really?
Wow, you're smart.
Sometimes. At that moment, I couldn't believe I was going to be an uncle. And it was one of the first times I ever actually cried from happiness. Aw. 9 months later, a beautiful baby Zoe was born. If you've seen Zoe, you would absolutely understand that she is a reflection of the love these two share and will continue to share for the many coming years. So, Zoe. So, if we could all please raise our glasses and toast to this wonderful union between Kim and Jim. Thank you, sir. Salud. Cent'anni.
Hello, my wife.
So this is mainly me, but my new husband is supporting me up here. This is usually where the maid of honor would give a little speech, but our maid of honor is busy parenting our child for the evening. So
Give it up to her.
yes, we appreciate it so very much. So even though I am not a public speaker, even though this isn't really public, it's family, still gonna say a few words because I can.
It's your night.
And, you know, been feeling a little emotional, all the feels. I just really appreciate all of our family being here. My family, the family from in town and out of town. I love you. I love that you're here. It means so much to me. And then my new family. I said this to Jimmy, and we had some private vows in addition to the vows we wrote for you guys. But one of the first things I said to him was that from the moment I met him, I felt just completely at ease and wholly myself. And I felt that way with all of you guys too. Like Angela, seriously, I feel the same. Same man. Like.
Ditto.
We love you too, Kim.
I've had great conversations with all of you. I just feel so comfortable, so at ease, so respected, so loved. Like, I am very proud to call you guys my new family. Not new, like not replacing you guys. Like, I'll keep the old one. I want the new one too, but like combo. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you all that I love you, and I appreciate that you're here.
We love you too.
What she said.